struggling right now because you are trying to be a happy, positive, motivating leader and create a really great environment for your team, but your boss is not one. Is it hard for you to stay fulfilled and connected to purpose and energized when the person that you're reporting to and the person who has a lot of influence over your team is actually making you and your team feel negative? If this is you, I see you, I feel you, and I want to help you. I get asked on a regular basis, how do I be a happy leader? How do I stay positive when my boss is not one? And unfortunately, this is really, really common. Over 2/3 of managers and leaders in the United States are disengaged while working. 14% of those people are actively disengaged. So that's a lot of disengagement and unhappiness trickling down the corporate ladder. And these statistics, as well as my own experiences, motivate me to do this work because the world of work needs more happy leaders. It is hard to keep being that cheerleader, to be that positive energizer, and to wake up every day wanting to spread positivity when your boss is doing the exact opposite. And as you know, once you're in a position, you don't necessarily get to pick your boss. Sometimes your bosses change and you have a great one and all of a sudden one comes in and not so great. You can, of course, interview bosses, and I encourage you to do so. Make sure the person that you are going to work with aligns with you and is positive. But sometimes we don't know when we take a job how a person's really going to be if you don't know them really, really well. When I started a new position as a director of sales for a group of hotels, the person that I was working directly for actually made me and the whole team that we were working with pretty unhappy, except for a couple of people. The team was demotivated. There was unwanted turnover. Some of our best people were leaving, and the team felt disconnected and the energy was low. And when I would wake up in the morning and be getting ready for work, I remember thinking, okay, what can I do today to help this team? Because my boss wasn't helping. And I did everything in my power to create influence and counter what the other person was doing with this team of phenomenal people. I've been there multiple times, and I know how hard it is. And when you're a leader trying to do this and the person above you is doing the opposite, it's like you're pulling on a tug rope. Eventually, this person was moved to another area of the organization where they weren't leading a lot of people, but they were a great direct contributor. And that was a way better fit for this person. You see, just because someone is really smart and great at what they do doesn't mean they can be that happy, motivating leader that humans need in order to do their best work. A happy leader drives productivity and creativity and loyalty and sales, if you're a sales leader like I was for many, many years. Business results follow, right? Happy leaders create happy teams create happy customers. So I want to give you a strategy, a framework to use if you are in the position right now where you really want to be a happy leader, but your boss isn't. And maybe you might be in this position in the future, or maybe one of your colleagues is in this position right now, and you need to share this information with them because they're struggling, because their leader isn't happy, isn't positive, and isn't creating high morale. So this is what I did to be successful when I was in that position, and I hope it helps you. So the first step is start with you. You must take care of yourself inside and outside of work so that you can create your sphere of influence. And this is the first step in my Be a Happy Leader methodology. So starting with you is taking care of your spiritual well-being, your physical well-being, right? Sleeping, eating good foods, exercising, meditating. Make sure you're reading books, listening to podcasts, nourishing your mind. You also want to make sure that you're focused on learning and growing, right? That intellectual well-being, your professional development, your personal development. You're investing in your relationships with everyone at work, as well as your personal relationships, so that you can be the best leader you can be. And then also choosing activities to increase those positive emotions, and you have a healthy relationship when you're going through challenging emotions, which all humans do. So first step is you have to start with you. You can't put yourself on the back burner, especially if you don't have a happy leader. Step 2 is I want you to show up to this leader with empathy and compassion. They might be going through something or many things that you don't know about in their personal life. Maybe they are getting a lot of negative energy from their boss whenever they talk to them, right? There's all of these unknowns. So second step is just always show up with compassion and empathy for them, even though they might be bringing negativity to you, okay? Do that with everyone. Step 3 is, in the best of your ability, with your one-on-one meetings with them, with your written and verbal communication, with all of your interaction in your team meetings, right? When you're with all of your bosses, direct reports, is focus on human connection and understanding. Use open-ended questions like what or how to really get to understand them and their perspective and where they're coming from. Get to know them on a personal level. Go out for coffee, have lunch, and don't just talk about work. Connect with them as much as you can, human to human. And that will really, really help your relationship. And it might help them be more positive when they're with you and when they're with your team. The next step is you must influence your team, all your direct reports and your peers as much as possible with positivity and optimism and positive energy. You have a sphere of influence and it's stronger than you think. And that's why taking care of yourself is so vital. You must do everything in your power to be that motivating leader and to show up with active listening and creativity and get them energized, because you're also counterbalancing what's coming from your boss if they're not really, really happy. So focus on influencing your team and as many of your peers as possible to create that ripple effect in your organization that it definitely needs. The next step is to read through the rest of the 7 steps in Be a Happy Leader, because what it's going to do is it's going to give you strategies and tools to create a really happy team, to drive business results, and to keep you grounded and centered and happy. So have action buffet, right? A whole bunch of tools that you can use for when you're feeling down, when you're feeling demotivated. So use this 8-step methodology if you have a leader that's not really happy. Next is stay connected to your purpose, why you're doing this work. Progress in purposeful work, in meaningful work, is the #1 motivator. And help your team stay connected to the vision, where you're going, and the purpose of the organization and their purpose. Talk about that, not just the business results, but the purpose, how your organization is helping society, helping its employees. And that will be a big motivator for you and for every single person. And last but not least, if your unhappy boss is affecting your team in such a massive way that it is truly negatively affecting you, it's really negatively affecting your team, the results, you're having good people leave, customers are being affected, the finances are being affected, If this is a truly big negative ripple effect, then you must ask for help. Ask your mentors. You can go to HR, but unhappy bosses can be extremely costly to culture, customers, and your finances. And I've had to do this in the past. So if you're truly at that point, go ask for support. You can be a happy leader, even if your boss isn't one, using my steps. So I encourage you to focus on it and prioritize it and help your peers as well. If you like this video, hit subscribe and share. And if you want, you can listen to the first chapter of Be a Happy Leader. It's free right now. Just go to arriveathappy.com and you can listen to chapter 1 of my audiobook.